All right, ladies. Are we ready for a recap?
You know it.
Ladies and
Tell us how
Kyle.
awesome we were.
Okay,
Ladies and Kyle.
let's talk about how awesome the Wenches are in season 3 of episode. We'll call it episode 13 and 14 because it was kind of a two-part episode that I'm just splitting into two episodes. But 13 being episode 12 and 13. 12 being Dragon and Dungeon. I feel like I appropriately named that pretty well. And then last episode, I'm going to call Altar Call, as Father Zathier made his last stand with his mace. Speaking of which, so we last week left off with a post-combat after you guys traversed through the tunnel made by the purple worm. Let me know if I'm freezing, by the way, because it's doing really fun stuff right now. Everything's starting to do really cool stuff.
You sound great, Chris.
Okay, good. The music's going crazy. Anyways, traversed through a tunnel made by a purple worm that split open a hole in the back of Darrow Manor's tomb, or the tomb of the Darrow family. You guys traversed through there, saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and realized that it led straight to Wind's Peak, Solara's hometown, where a light snow had begun to fall in this mountainous town set in a mountainous, snowy area, and quickly sprang to action as you guys realized that the town was under attack by a horde of zombies. As you guys sprang to action, started slicing and dicing your way through, Solara saw in the distance that her home church, the Temple of Kelemvor, led by her mentor figure, Father Zathier, was under attack. The doors kind of blown wide open and zombies pouring through, as there seemed to be some sort of struggle there. So Solara jumped ahead and was met with a scene of Father Zathier at the altar, swinging his mace around, fighting off the zombies as best he could, as they were trying to overpower him, and all led by this floating giant skull of death called a death tyrant, with eyes glowing and red orbs floating all around it, shooting beams of various colors and other deadly effects. The first of which petrifying Father Zathier, turning him straight to stone, and it spun around and then turned its gaze on Solara, who was then slicing and dicing her way through the zombies with the help of some of her spirit guardians. Shortly after, Valdric, Anya, and eventually Calliope joined the fray, and were also quickly met by the skull, who had spun around and started shooting ray after ray after ray at you guys. Not gonna lie, you barely escaped certain death, as I believe Calliope made a saving throw where if she was one away, would have been turned to ash, and this would be a session of re-rolling character for Calliope, because I saved her tail one time. I don't know if I would do it a second time. I don't know. So you got
that one. I just got a spell book with my name on it.
Crazy.
That's
crazy.
exactly when.
It's crazy how that works out, but you know
The
what?
best time for it.
But
Spell books.
Yeah, so that just goes to show, these characters are not invincible. But you guys made it through. You were not turned to ash, as you guys came up with some cool ideas on how to kill this thing with Solara's, holy blessings and freaking spirit guardians flopping around, doing their best AoE damage.
Flopping around.
Valdric with her casting flight on Anya, as Anya flew through the air with her sunblade, stabbing the Death Tyrant in the head.
Coolest move. And
not to be forgotten, the big fireball in a, pretty big room. If you were to ask me how big is the room, it's a cathedral. It's not a cathedral, but it's a church. So it's got tall ceilings. It's a decent room to be casting fireball in, as sacrilegious as it may be.
All of us
Kelemvor.
Surrounding the area that she dropped that fireball
Hey,
in.
look, I protected all of you. There's a reason I'm School of Evocation, okay?
Yeah, she cast it very tactically, and only burn up a few pews. before singeing the Death Tyrant. You guys beat him anyways. Valdrick quickly started harvesting teeth, which I don't think we actually rolled for, but we'll get to that in a second, as Father Zathier eventually turned back from stone into himself again. It was surprised, frightened, worried, and also relieved to see you, Solara. Kind of was like, what are you doing here? It's not safe to be here. He's looking for you, talking about some crazy stuff, and at the end of the episode brought you guys over to the scrying font that he has in his church, in the Temple of Kalimvor, and you guys were about to see what he was about to reveal to you. As we'll start off this episode with a couple of rolls for Valdrick. So Valdrick, I think I asked you, do you have a harvesting kit? And I think I know the answer, but I just want to hear you say it. Do you have a harvesting kit? You have a harvesting kit? Yeah.
For teeth? I have Anya.
You have a sunblade, yes, but it's not as precise as the tools and instruments that come included in a harvesting kit.
I think that Valdrick, having collected just an egregious amount of teeth, would probably have a teeth harvesting kit. I feel like that's not out of the realm of possibilities, because she is a collector and purveyor of fine teeth.
Right. Well, we'll say, I mean, you can still harvest the teeth. It's just going to be a disadvantage. But I think, if you were to shop around for a harvesting kit, I might have one for sale. But I'm going to beat
Keeping that in mind.
Yeah. So write that down.
Keep that in mind.
But
for now, though, I would like to use my
and,
handy dandy Anya.
Yes, of course.
Oh, he a crying baby.
Over to Pocket Bard. Let's do this one. Yeah, that sounds fun.
He said that sounds fun.
All right.
The creepiest, scariest.
Go ahead and make a roll for me at disadvantage. It's gonna be nature, maybe no. Survival? Yeah, let's do survival. Charlotte, can you try turning your camera off and on again? It's like doing something funky. I don't know if that's just me or everyone else. There we go.
It's a 19.
That's better. With disadvantage? Holy cow.
Yeah, advantage is a 21.
Okay.
Because I'm also jack of all trades.
Okay. Alright. Well, because you rolled so high, I rolled the biggest dice that I have for the amount of teeth to find. However, I only rolled a 2 on it. But we'll add 3 to it and say it's a d20 plus 3, so you get 5 total teeth before the rest either kind of crumble to ash in the Sunblade's barbaric way of cutting through. But you find 5 of these jagged teeth, and just for reference, I'm going to pull up that picture of
show me that picture again.
The Death Tyrant again for all to have as a reference. Bing, bong, bing. Where is Death Tyrant? Death Tyrant. What is that? It is undead.
I'd note, I need more money.
More money.
We're gonna need to make more money, you guys.
I think
We start charging for our services.
Need a heist.
Honestly, we should. 2 types of people. We need a heist, and we need to start charging for our services.
Why not both?
It is a type of beholder. That's why I couldn't
That
find
would
it.
work.
There's some good teeth.
So yeah, the teeth you're able to find, 3 on the bottom row, 2 on the top. The 2 on the top are abnormally larger. And remember, this was a large creature, so the teeth are probably the size of like this microphone, if you will. Probably the size of a
Good thing I got a
podcast.
bag of holding.
Two of those, the big teeth are. The smaller ones, maybe the size of a gaming mouse. So yeah, they're yours. They kind of glow in the right light with a hint of reddish, pinkish, magenta, magical glow.
Creepy.
So you gather those as Father Zather is talking to Solara, and then the four of you finally follow him over to the scrying font, to which he shows you what information he was given shortly before this attack. Pours a pitcher of holy water into this font, a ritual that Solara has seen many times growing up in the temple. It kind of just looks like water for a second, and then once the rippling stops and the movement stops, you eventually see an image. The bowl's probably about 5 feet wide, and you all see this image of a fishing boat. It looks like it's kind of foggy, but this fishing boat is traveling along and docks on this dock, and you realize that it is the town or the village of Saltmarsh that you guys visit. I think it's a town. The town of Saltmarsh that you guys visited not too long ago. This fishing boat comes in. There's no one on the fishing boat, it looks like. It's very strange. All of the barrels are all covered up with different blankets and coverings. The workers, the dock workers at Saltmarsh, are reeling it in and are kind of confused by the sight. A lot of them start boarding the boat, looking for the captain, looking for anyone at this point, any passenger. A couple more people get involved, and a crowd starts to form around this boat. And then all of a sudden, just like that, the boat explodes. Pieces of people going everywhere, rope, wood splintering all over the place, the flag burning up, the sails singeing, and just this fiery wreck in the dock of Saltmarsh, one of the two big docks, as now more people are running, sprinting to the scene.
Terrorist attacks.
While some of them are sprinting away. The boat then turns to mist. Everything in the picture turns to mist as another scene unfolds. This time, there is a city kind of above a swamp. I want everyone to make a history check to see if you know what city this is. See if you recognize this city.
Said history.
Is it Chanmu?
19.
I got like a 13. Yep, I got just 13.
13. Who else?
19.
19.
14.
Okay. Wait. So, Clappy and Solara both got 13.
Yes.
No, I got an 8.
Oh.
Okay. I thought I heard. Okay, so 8. All right. All of those are fails except for a 19. Valdrick, you've been here maybe once, and it's for good reason. You were performing, maybe Phantasmo rolled by. This is the city of Southwind, one of the 4 winds of Waydora. This is probably the lowest income, most poverty-stricken city of the 4. Not entirely stricken with poverty. It's just it's like a village, but with the population of a city. Very stinky. In swamp, marshes for miles. It's the only civilization around. I think the swamps of like Florida, but just muggy and disgusting. You traveled and performed there once, it was kind of a terrible time. You tossed and turned all night in your wagon as you just couldn't sleep. You were being eaten alive by mosquitoes, and you're like, I'm never coming back here again. This is terrible.
The worst place.
Yeah, so you're getting flashbacks as you see this city come into view. You're kind of watching it from above. It's about a bit of a foggy scene as these creatures start climbing up the docks that all the wooden docks that are probably about 10 feet off, 5-10 feet off, out of the swamp that go to and from, that act as the streets that vein through the city. Some of these creatures, these hooded creatures, climbing up the sides, and there's a large caravan carrying goods and food, grain, stuff like that, escorted by quite a lot of people, probably about 20 people in total, leading this caravan into the city. And these creatures surround the caravan and begin attacking it, undo their cloaks as you see horns on each of them, very distinct tails. Solara recognizes them instantly as Tieflings as they pull daggers and start stabbing everyone in the caravan.
Oh my.
And killing everyone. Zathir kind of takes a minute and looks at you with a grave face, Solara, and then looks back down as the scene shifts again. This time, there is a... everyone make another history check. This one's
16.
Damn
a
it.
bit higher.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I'm going back to the glowing dice. This sucks.
15.
None of us roll high enough to recognize what this is.
14.
14.
Does
okay.
Father
Anything.
Zathir get to roll?
So,
Can you just tell us?
Can you tell us?
if only.
Father Zathir will roll, and he did not make it.
Dang it.
Oh, Sam.
I would say he has a high history, even still. I rolled a 12 on the die, so not high enough.
My history is high. I'm just rolling shitty tonight.
Yeah. DC was a 20, so you all fail. You don't know what town this is, but it looks like there's some sort of town hall meeting with probably 100, 120 humanoid figures gathered in this meeting, kind of talking about certain stuff. You're not really sure. You can only see. There's no audio cues coming from this. And there's guards lined up around the entrances, not like heavily guarded, just like your regular town guard. Half of what look like guards then start shifting in a manner that the other guards aren't, and they immediately start you kind of see them barring the doors shut secretively, with no one noticing. All of a sudden, gas starts filling this room of all these people. Some of them kind of hear the hissing, it sounds like, and they see the gas coming in. None of them really know what to do. In about 10-15 seconds, one of them starts foaming at the mouth and convulsing and falls over. This, of course, causes a panic. Everyone starts screaming, and the person leading the meeting is 2 guards kind of rush to his aid and bring him to the side, but it's no use, as one by one, everyone in this room begins dropping, except for the half of the guards that look like they were shifting and blocking the doors. They reveal themselves to have some sort of gas masks on, undo their cloaks. They have horns. They have tails like Tieflings. As this entire room of 110, 120 humanoids falls dead, except for the 3 or 4 figures. The scene shifts then to a very familiar scene. It's Luminara Plaza. There is a cart being pushed by a hooded figure right to the center of the plaza. It looks like he tries to sneak away, tail swishing behind him, as a Dwarven guard kind of stops him and asks him, looks like he's confronting him and asking him what he's trying to do. He looks like he tries to escape as another dwarven guard comes over, and they both kind of wrestle him to the ground. And there's a big kind of a scuffle between the three of them as the two dwarven guards are trying to pin this guy down. He kind of turns over on his back, and it looks like he has some sort of like contraption on in his wrist or something, and he twists it, and all of a sudden the cart explodes. And people, body parts going flying, wood splintering, people screaming, running away from the scene. And shortly after, you see yourselves running to the scene. So this looks like something that happened in the past.
We're seeing the attacks on the hit list.
And last but not
that
least,
we found.
Last but not least, you see all of you have been there and recognize this as Northwind, the capital of Waydora. It looks like two tieflings who aren't hiding their identity or anything. Two tieflings break out into a big fight in this marketplace. This pretty busy marketplace. It's not as chaotic as a bazaar. It's a little more structured, but still a large gathering place of central marketing and a big hubbub of trade. As these two tieflings break out into a fight, a large crowd gathers, even larger. Most of the marketplace is now kind of surrounding, kind of watching this fight. They both then reveal what you eventually realize are explosive vests on their chests, and they both jump opposite of each other, jump into the crowd, and explode. Obviously, a grisly scene, body parts going everywhere, and people screaming, running from the scene, and guards rushing to aid. And then the scene finally fades.
Wow. Why are they doing this? I mean, who's controlling them? Yeah, who's sending them?
And why? Also, is this all past? Has all of this already happened, or is there a chance that we can get to Northwood
Why are they
and
looking?
prevent?
Who's looking for me?
Yeah.
Is Father Xavier? I guess does he know? Because I'm kind of asking him like if he knows anything as far as that.
His hand kind of like is covering his mouth as he's just watching in horror. He kind of looks in shock and just says, "I have no knowledge of what is happening around Waydora. Solara, it is a very dangerous time to be a tiefling. Very dangerous time. This is no coincidence."
Well, we'll just have to be careful. We're not generally in the public. I mean, if they've come here, it seems nowhere safe, really. But I do also have confidence, in us, especially in Anya.
You said someone was looking for Solara. Do you recognize them? Any discerning features that we could work from when we're hunting him to kill him?
Yes. Please forgive me. I must sit down before I continue. And he kind of...
You were stoned for a minute there.
Yeah, you see he's a little worse for wear. He's got a couple wounds as he kind of staggers back and sits into a pew that's half broken on the other side, scorched with fireball. And did we freeze?
That's the most shit-eating grin on his face.
There we go.
I want to say, okay, as we sit down, I would cast Cure Wounds on Father Xavier at a 3rd level.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to roll for that. I will, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I do that. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead
I
and roll.
need, it'll be 3d8 plus my, okay, 4, 9, 11, 12, plus the 22 HP to him.
He,
Better than nothing.
you see him just kind of like close his eyes and let the, as your shield glows with the symbol of Kalimvor, you place your hands on him. He finally mutters, Solara, I taught you well. You should be proud of the woman you've become, that you are becoming. I'm afraid I'm
Tried my
getting
best.
too old for such things, and had you not come and saved me, I fear I would be yet another grave in the graveyard of Wind's Peak, but...
Well,
haven't had-
Kalimvor, he's surely thought that it wasn't your time, so.
Kalimvor guides us. I haven't seen combat like that since I was a Doom Guide, before I came Mortarch of this establishment.
He's having more flashbacks.
Yeah, he's having flashbacks on him.
I would too.
He says, which reminds me, Solara. I always ask you every time I see you. Have you, considered the path of the Doom Guide?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm totally down to try it. Totally down. As long as the wenches can come with me.
You sound so upbeat and cheerful while saying, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, let's go. It's because I'm like looking up like my disguise self spell and it just makes myself laugh about it. Okay, you know, if looking like a tiefling is dangerous. Anyways. But I mean, yeah, I just like, I feel like the wenches, I've helped them, you know, and I would love if they could come along on that journey for me, you know.
I beg your pardon.
It's very important to me.
You all call yourselves the Wenches?
Okay,
Wenches
sorry.
of Waydora.
Yes.
With props. I'm gonna pull out a Solara bobblehead from my bag of holding and put it in his hand.
Oh.
Oh
And
yeah,
this is a
I
term
totally
of
forgot.
endearment that you all prefer.
Yes. Don't worry. Yes, I know it's something the youth or something these days.
I think it's legally trademarked too. I think.
We were working on that.
I think
Yeah.
Phantasma trademarked it for
Yeah,
us.
Mojo absolutely trademarked it.
I will never understand the slang that the children
I'll make sure to
use
send
these
any
days.
extra proceeds to the church,
Well,
for
that's
my
so
portion.
nice.
Oh,
of course.
you do what you need to do to keep yourself alive. Of course, we are not expecting any of your profit. But it is good to hear that you have made friends. She is lucky to have you all, and you are all lucky to have her.
We love Solara.
So like they could come with me then, right? That was
Of course, if she decides
whatever
to
that.
follow the path of the Doom Guide, can I charge the three of you? And as he says the three of you, a little hand climbs up your back, Valdric, and puts up
Forgot about him.
puts up the number 4. he
Oh yes. This
my
is Timid.
gracious, the Kalimvor.
He's an undead, but we
Is
are
he
helping him resolve. Yes, he's honestly become his own thing.
He's an
But he will
unresolved
pass.
spirit.
He will maybe pass on eventually. There's some revenge business.
Not
You understand?
in my
It's like a
church.
little cat.
Please, not in my church.
That's valid.
Did
I
it-
charge the
Let's go
three
right
of
outside.
you to support her in her path to the Doom Guide.
I love guide things. I think it's great.
This is your commission. And he sort of does one of these kind of like little holy,
People blessing.
little blessing upon you all.
I feel very blessed.
He takes out his mace, which is just covered in black blood, begins wiping it off on a towel and begins burning the as like a sensor because it works as it's a two-way. It's both a mace and a sensor, and it begins just kind of like walking around, yeah, and muttering some Californian.
You don't have another one of those you'd be willing to part with, to guide and help Solara, obviously.
The guide, very important.
Yeah.
Guiding.
I do not. However, when I pass on, it has been written in my will that this would be sent to Solara, one way or the other.
I think we were looking for more immediate usage, but that's good. That's good.
Are you suggesting
sentimental things? No.
Passing?
No. I think you will live a happy, long life.
Yes.
And it would be lovely. Lovely.
Not immediate.
Not immediate, in any capacity.
Yes. Anyways, the man that was, or whoever that you said is looking for me.
Yes.
I mean, I know it doesn't sound like it's Venge, and yeah, it doesn't sound like it's him, because you know what he looks like, so you would have said that.
Yes, but I was getting similar, what are the youth calling it these days? Similar vibes as when your friend Vengeance entered my church just a few days ago. They seem
what if it's
similar.
Father? Like older?
Perhaps, yes. He was a demon, I know it. I could smell him from a mile away. Demons are not to be trifled with, Solara, whether friendly or foe.
Trust me, I would love to not be doing anything with the demons. Undead is where my business is. But you know, if it's just important, unfortunately. It's very important that we...
There are also...
we'll be careful.
And as much as we separate religion and politics, there is much political play here. People like yourselves, a tiefling, may be mistaken as a demon. As this continent has fallen to racism before, we're not allowed again, but that is what may be happening out there.
Listen, we'll beat the living teeth off of anyone that even looks at Solara wrong. I'm not worried about that. You shouldn't be worried about that.
She may be mistaken for an ally of this demon that assaulted my town. And oddly enough, they only came after me. They only came after our temple. What of the rest of Wind's Peak? And he starts walking down the aisle to check as he realizes he doesn't know if the fight's over or what's going on outside.
But they really did funnel like down into this. Because we asked, remember, if anybody's being attacked, and no, they had like boarded up their homes, gotten inside, and they were funneling in towards the temple, which I do think is really odd.
Did we murder all of the zombies that were out there? Did we just run past them, though?
Or was like the skull controlling them?
They did.
No.
Yeah, we murdered those guys.
Did we?
Yeah.
As you guys are having this conversation and he's walking down the aisle and kind of like stepping over some of the bodies, he does a double take at some of the bodies. And I think last week Friday we touched on what some of the bodies look like, but you guys are now also taking another look and seeing, or Solara, you're recognizing a lot of these people as citizens of Wind's Peak that have been laid to rest in the past. You also see... Checking my notes here. Some of your childhood friends and family laying dead in zombie decayed bodies on the floors of the Temple of Kalimborn. You also see a headless zombie wearing the same garments that your father Alistair wore.
Oof. Yikes. Just a big yikes, yeah. Just step on him on the way out.
Whoops. All the wenches just take one
My
step on
bad.
his body on the way out the door.
As we should.
Beside him, you also see your sister Olena amongst the dead zombies.
is
Her
the new one?
face gray and decrepit and jaw askew, and it's grisly but also very sad and shocking sight to you, as you're not sure. You have a lot of emotions flowing through you as you just found out hours ago that she saved you as a child.
Yeah, I just look at her somberly. Is that the way you say it? Or I'm just like, huh. And I'm like, I'm not gonna touch her or anything, but I'm just like, I know her soul rested, so like, it's just her body, and it's down now, so it's just like, thank you.
Zathier sees. So you say thank you out loud?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be like, thank you, like just quietly. But if he's listening,
yeah, he's right beside you, and he's kind of puts his arm around you, and he says, "So,
yeah, I found this necklace, and it had like a memory or something stored in it, and I know.
Where did you find this necklace?"
Well, we ended up in my family's tomb, which is kind of how we ended up here, I don't even, it was a long journey. We went through assuming a wormhole at some point, like in the ground, of course, a giant wormhole, like in the ground. But we got here, so, yeah. Yes, Valdrick, go.
I'm just having a brain blast right now thinking about you and the fact that you were a tiefling and how you were born into a human family. And somebody remind me one more time how tieflings are born into human families. I'm a little bit rusty on that.
Well, some generations ago, just, from my understanding, they made a pact with the devil, in exchange for, like, I think financial success, essentially. And then they were just promised a tiefling, essentially, half devil, whatever, baby.
And now this devil is coming and looking for you. Could those two things potentially have maybe a little bit of a connection to each other, is what I'm asking.
Who knows? We're gonna hope not. We're gonna definitely just hope not. Yeah. Could be, but maybe not. I don't know.
Would anyone know who made that pact? Like, with what devil in your family? Anybody write things down? Do a little journaling? Just curious.
Not to my knowledge. I don't think I would know. Yeah, I don't think she would know. I don't think I
Would
ever
Father
read about
Zathier know?
I don't know. I imagine it was like it could have been like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
But would it possibly your family or someone in the town have kept like a record of it? Because you think you would want to know if that devil came calling again.
I mean, I'm sure you could track back, obviously, to like when the family became like rich. Because I imagine that's how it worked. Like they weren't rich and then they were rich. Like they just had a quick
your
come
family's
up.
I wish your
in this
dumb
town?
father still had his fucking head. Does somebody here speak with dead?
I think so. Well, yes, I think Solara actually has
Who's
it.
the oldest looking zombie in this room? Clothes-wise, decrepitness-wise.
Zathier also knows the spell Speak with Dead. Unfortunately, I'm reading the spell now, and it says the corpse cannot be undead.
Oh, because they were
Yeah,
Well,
I was about to whip it out,
Family's
and
house around here. Go rifle through the things. See if there's anything there. I mean, what? I'm sorry. They're all dead now at this point. So isn't it yours?
Valid.
We could go rifle through the thing, see if there's anything.
Well, I mean, that's
Steal all the
it's
money.
very unlikely.
Yeah. Solara's frozen, but I agree with her. I think that maybe there won't be anything in the house, but I am saying it's a little shifty. The demon connection's throwing real red flags.
Could it have been made with DM Vengeance's dad?
Oh, so that's what I'm wondering. I don't even know who the fuck his dad is. Maybe we should send a little message. Maybe we should do a little
that
ask.
seems suspicious that a bunch of shit's happening with their dad, and then a
Seems real
demon's looking
sus.
for Solara.
Exactly. What was Solara's destiny again? What was prophecy? Yes, prophecy. I don't have it written down in front of me, and Amber is frozen, so frozen.
Let's see if I have it.
Look how happy her face looks, though. She's so excited. She's like, this is the moment.
Solara, soul drinker, true wench of Waydora, will seal death's door and rise up as the true doom guide of Waydora.
Dang. Sheesh.
Getting key vibes, right? Like she could seal the door, but also somebody could use her to open the door potentially. That kind of.
Or eliminate her so she can seal it.
Exactly.
Oh,
None
don't
of
like
those
that.
things sound good.
Yeah.
There's pieces of this. I feel like the picture's coming together.
Anyone can make a history check on what, like, if they've ever heard of pacts being made with a devil.
25.
You got a 16.
19 plus 6, baby.
Nat 20.
Okay. Those were the two.
Calliope for the first time tonight.
Those are the two that I would
Rolling
expect
well.
to get this pretty well.
I got a 19.
Okay.
You have so much knowledge.
Yeah,
So
I'll
much
say.
I know all the things.
I'll say everyone except for Solara passes this. You guys have definitely heard of pacts being made with the devil. Anya, you've had to hunt down someone who went super power hungry after making a pact with the devil and became too powerful and was using it for evil, obviously, and you had to hunt him down, or at least your bounty hunting troop hunt him down. Calliope, you've definitely read about pacts with devils easily in some library somewhere. Valdrick, you've heard songs from some of your favorite bards about a deal with the devil and how they can be, recent, eye for an eye kind of thing. You get a certain, quick power, but that generation of your family or something happens in your generation that you have to pay for it or someone else pays for it. Or sometimes it can be kind of a slow burn, and it can be thousands of years before this generation or before this curse, comes back. But usually it always comes with strings attached. There's always something in it for the devil. He's never just giving stuff out of generosity. There's always a contract bound in blood. Whether that blood is paid right then and there or that blood is paid later. The contract is always signed and kept away, who knows wherever a devil keeps their contracts.
Filing cabinet.
Let's think about this for a second then. Alright, let's speculate here.
And last but not least, there's a distinct difference between devils and demons. So,
Exchange for great power, they get Solara eventually. Like, somehow they know that Solara could be the key to opening this door. Like, I wouldn't put it past a devil to
Or
know
if
that
they
kind of
just,
information.
yeah, why specifically a tiefling born in?
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe it's something to do with your specific blood. This seems very targeted across the board.
And
You all-
Venus did have a thing about the ship sails.
With your rolls, you also realize that you also know that there's a distinct difference between devils and demons. They're not like those words aren't interchangeable. Like there's devils and then there's demons, and they fight. There's an ongoing war with them. In fact, Valdrick, your 25 comes because you've heard either rumors or straight from Captain Lordfather himself, Captain Drake, about the fight, the devils and the demons fighting in the 9 layers of hell. The 9 hells about over the stones of Nagath and the power that those bring. And yeah, they're foes. Devils and demons are foes.
Okay. What's the clear separation between devils and demons? Devils are lawful good, lawful evil. Demons are chaotic evil. I'm asking specifically because the type of contract. I want to understand if this is the rabbit hole I'm about to go down.
Let me look it up.
Solara's like anxiety is
coming
rising
calling?
as we're like speaking about this because she's like, normally it's not me. Normally it's like.
My next thing I want to do is roll for history one more time on Stones of Nagath, because honestly I completely shat that out of my brain, and now that we're discussing all of this, I think we should
Jesus.
really talk about it for a second while we're on the...
You are actually... Oh, did we freeze?
No, you guys are
No, you're good.
Okay, you're actually absolutely correct. Demons are chaotic evil, for the most part, and devils are lawful evil.
Yeah, because if it's a devil, he's contract bound. If it's a demon, it's much more shisty. Though, you know what? That's not necessarily true, because devils are shisty just in a really, really sneaky way that sticks to their contract.
Diamor and Vengeance, are they
Devils.
They're devils?
No. Diamor and Vengeance are demons.
Demon. Oops.
And their father is a demon.
That's why I wanted to double
Ruh-roh.
check.
Bro.
Someone write that down somewhere. With your little
That's-
books that I gave you.
Probably so scary bad.
Could
So
it just be that this devil just wanted to force them to give up something, and the Daros even back then were just a bunch of status-driven social ladder climbers, and knew that this would destroy the family, therefore basically giving them what they wanted temporarily, but having like a kill switch that would come with the not trauma, but the social suicide or social
of
bad
having a
look
tiefling.
of having the tiefling. So
Yeah.
could it just be that that is one of the worst things that the devil could have given
Could
the
have
Dara
inflicted.
family?
But here's my response to that, okay? Because I agree with you there, right? Because that's chaotic AF. But to Chris's original point, what does he get out of it, right? I'm thinking whatever it is that he's getting out of this comes from Solara. So the chaos that's wrought from it is just extra sprinkles on the top of the ice cream. What I think we need to do is try to figure out if we can get maybe Diamor and Cabe to give us the identity of Daddy. Would that even help? Yeah.
So we know for sure that this pact was with the devil. Do we know that for sure? Not a demon?
Right, like would we know based on Solara if she's devil or demon descendant?
I'm actually looking up something right now.
We're Nancy Drew invest right now.
We're out, Nancy. We're out. I don't even know.
Here.
I feel like
You guys
Chris
are
hasn't
getting-
figured this out yet.
We've gone to
We're just
Sherlock
giving him
level,
ideas
let's
at
be
this
fair.
point.
Yeah. We're just shooting. He's like, that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for that idea for later.
Well, I was
The
looking
music
up...
is so mysterious too.
It actually does sound like the beginning of the Nancy Drew game where it's da 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 da.
Yeah.
Charlotte knows. So, Solara, innately, you know that tieflings, maybe even just with your teachings with Father Zaethier, as you grew up, you probably had questions like, why am I different? You know, why do I look different than everyone else in town? And he's probably, without even making a roll, he's definitely given you the lore of Tieflings, and that they are descendants of both demons and devils. So, could go either way. Also, Rakshasas, night hags, or other avatars of evil deities. So, Valdrick's mother is half night hag, so there's that.
Whatever that
There's
means.
a lot of
What's that
threads.
supposed to mean?
Lot of
What's that
threads
mean?
to Also, the night hag that you guys killed, that you hunted down, that cursed Anya. Night hag. You've had.
So wait, tell me one more time. What is the connection between the night hags and the devil demons?
They just a night hag can also, I think.
There are various evil beings that tieflings can descend from, and they descend from demons, devils, rakshasas, night hags, or other avatars of evil
Maybe we're
deities.
sisters.
Am I a demon? Valdrick's looking at her hands.
I don't think you're a demon,
We're
Valdrick.
night hag. I will kill you.
Ah! You know, my mother's half night hag, and she's quite a nice lady for the most part when she's not gutting people. That's beside the point. I would like to do a history check on the Stones of Nagath. I know I have information about it in my first notebook. I'm not digging up my first notebook. I would like to make a history check on them.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
18 plus 6, 24.
Okay. I'm going to pull up an old text message from Jeffrey Hickman himself.
Read me Jeff lore.
Yeah, bear with me.
Charlotte is so stunning. She has like a ring light on her face and she looks like she's glowing.
I was making sure that I'm signed up for a parent-teacher conference tomorrow, so...
You're like smizing too. You're like, ooh. I was like, yes, she's giving. Tyra would be so proud.
Very cute. She's very cute.
Thanks, guys.
Let's see. He's complaining about Journey and how terrible people they are. Tech meeting. Oh, geez. And blah, blah, blah. Just, casual text with Jeff Hickman. Pictures of me sending pictures of Isabeau in my kitchen with Charlotte. Let's see.
On a random Tuesday in November.
Okay. There was... Let's see how much of this I can give away. I don't know if Solara wants to hear this or not, or you guys can fill her in later.
I think she's got her headphones
I'm
on.
listening. I'm
Okay,
listening.
cool.
I'm coming right back.
Just wait for the computer. She's getting snacks.
Cool. So there was a demon invasion of the Prime Plane. The stones were holding the Deimos in the Nine Hells, and they were stolen. The thief...
Deimos?
D-E-I-M-O-S. Deimos, I guess? I don't know. The thief used them to weaken the barrier between the planes and summoned forth a demon army of hundreds, thousands strong. And then an army of the kingdom's best men met them for a prolonged and bloody battle. And then he said, think World War II with demons. Sarony and Drake, your parents, went behind enemy lines, found the stones, and saved the day. They eventually returned the stones to King Agathor, the Even-Handed. And they used them to reestablish the barrier against the demon's entry to the Prime Plane.
Okay. Real quick. Calliope's prophecy says she will raise an army once meant for evil, now meant for good. And the stones summon an army.
Threads
And-
everywhere. Threads everywhere.
And the
Solara's
Wenches
prophecy
like-
was talking about opening a gateway,
No, sealing.
which could be used to open a gateway also. I'm fully committed to Solara being some sort of a key to something bad, whether that be used to close
Probably.
or open
Let's
it.
make sure no one gets her blood for
You're
the
talking
time.
about an army,
Yeah, my prophecy talks about an army.
but used for good.
Yes, once meant for evil, now meant for good.
Okay, love that. What was my prophecy and what was Anya's?
I don't think I have your guys'
It is my
written down.
Sunblade prophecy.
What is your Sunblade? That you'll unite the lands, chaos will
Calm the
ensue no more.
chaos, unite the land, fill the void, Bahamut will be summoned, and death will be defeated.
Yep.
And then Valdric, give life to death, paving the path for the blood drinker.
I think we already had Valdrix.
Who is the blood drinker?
That's me.
Anya's the blood
Anya,
drinker.
blood drinker.
Who do you
Me.
think?
Well, because
This
we
is
already had you
Valdric,
give
Saz
birth to death.
drinker, Anya, blood drinker, Solara, soul drinker, Calliope, life drinker. True wench of Waydora, all of the above. And then
Pulling at threads in my head.
I'm gonna let you guys
Okay.
discuss this for a bit. I'm gonna let you guys go.
Okay.
Chris was getting ideas.
down
but-
this
I'm not getting ideas. I want you guys to get ideas.
So stones of Nagath were stolen, according to Drake and Serenity.
I want you to
Mhm.
speak it out in character.
But now they're not stolen.
Wait, no, because didn't Vengeance or Diamor brought it up? Because I remember having to roll a check on them. I'm gonna see if I can find my papers with that. Because I know I wrote notes on that.
On the stones of Nagath.
On the Stones of Nagath, because I
Because
remember.
that's what I'm now curious of.
I
Are they
remember
missing
having to
from the
roll
place
it.
that Serenity and Drake then returned them to? And I feel like they are, because I feel like that was a conversation.
Yes. Sounds about right.
And then we spoke to Diamor and Cabe. Okay.
I'm so glad Kyle's here to witness all this. Because then we're gonna go back on the drawing board in between sessions and be like, all right, so this is what they think. This is what's actually happening.
So let's posture for a moment. Mina, mute yourself, please.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Let's posture for a moment.
Something just fell on my shed.
Uh-oh. What was it?
It was a very loud bang.
A chupacabra?
Probably a cat, but continue.
Cat. A cat from the sky.
Posture for a minute, if you will.
All right. So let's work on this thread of thought, this crazy little rabbit hole. Let's say Vengeance and Diamor's daddy, by Hell or High Water, is the one that made the demon deal. Because demons live for like a long ass time, right?
They did get stolen, by the way. I found my note that Serenity and Drake stole them, but then they were stolen from where they were. That is all I have on
Okay.
that.
And the Dars are
From
human,
episode
so-
19 in season 2, so you might have more in your notes.
So
Say again, Charlotte?
Well, the Dars are humans. Like, going back a couple generations would be like.
yeah, would be
2
nothing.
years.
Would-
Yeah, would be
double, yeah.
nothing for. Yep.
So let's say this demon pulls up. These guys are desperate to make a deal. Let's say it doesn't even have anything to do necessarily with the Daro bloodline. They're just
probably
the
like potato
easiest.
farmers, you know.
They're just the easiest to strike a deal with. Strike this deal. He's like, I'm gonna come calling, and when I do, I'm gonna take my descendant away from you. And they're like, sure, whatever, fuck it. But Solara's gone, and also by the time she's born, it's been generations, and so they're like, just kill her, which is terrible. Sorry about your trauma, Solara. She's deposited here at the church, which is why they didn't even go to the Darrow house. They went through and like got all the Darrow bodies, but that felt more like a sign than it did anything else. They went straight for the temple where they knew she had been days earlier.
Mhm.
How did they know you were here?
Maybe he has a track on his son, and so he knows that that cave is following Solara.
And
So
we
all
did
he has to
use
do is
that
track
map.
cave.
He said that, and if we use, I think we used the map to leave to
To
teleport
leave.
you.
Oh, so it like
So-
flashed the location.
Yeah, and I think because he did say, I think his dad, he's the only, he has
And
the
if
other
Demon
copy.
Daddy is behind all the tiefling attacks, like all the then he would, and he knew that we were in Eastwind, and theoretically we're going to intercept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay, so let's hold on to this thread for a second. Why the attacks?
Maybe he doesn't have the stones yet and he's trying to find them.
But they seem so like
They seem so
pointed but random.
touristy.
Or he's
Yeah.
pulling like a Full Metal Alchemist where the opening scene where each point there's something they have to plant there.
Like
To our knowledge,
Like a
I guess,
sacrifice or something.
is there anything like majorly like political or anything going on in like the background of everything that,
But they're having the elections in
In
Northwind,
Northwind.
right?
which is
So,
what
like,
all this has been
it's
about. By
sowing
a bunch of the
chaos.
runners-up have been like murdered at this point,
Could just be sowing chaos.
To create,
distracting
like,
from what he's
fear.
actually doing. Because what are you gonna do with a bunch of tieflings running around murdering people? Everyone's gonna be focused on the tieflings.
Blowing
Or
everything
to
up.
or to distract from like what happened here. Oh well, there's like attacks happening everywhere. There's nothing specific about this one.
Yeah. You're not looking for the one attack that's like meant to happen because you've got all these other sporadic ones taking place. Okay. Okay.
And also the Phantasmo Circus one seemed pretty pointed because that wasn't a point on any of those lists.
But they
Solara.
used the map to get to Phantasma Hollow.
Oh, and so they hit.
So
Here.
maybe it blasted there and like popped in two locations, and their dad happened to go to that one and just send the tieflings to the circus. Here's my big concern: the election's coming up. Lots and lots of people gathered for that. Okay, let's posture even
It'd be a
further.
great time to try to take over the world.
Exactly, it would be a great time to bring the Stones of Nagath to a place where you could, if these things are, say, like sacrifices to Mina's point, be a great place to big sacrifice, open whatever gate you need to open to bring forth the army of the Nine Hells and take over the world. So here's my final point. Are we, by going to Northwind, walking directly into what he wants us to walk into? Because
Not if
if
we take a side route, you know.
well, but if we end up in Northwind with you and he needs you for whatever he's doing,
Then we'll
not that I'm
take
saying
a
like,
shot.
yeah, because we're gonna have to go there anyway, but
Well, because we have to drop off that message that we had intercepted, the whole thing
Yeah.
of Sharpwood and all of that.
I think it's important that we just have that at like the back of our minds as we travel to.
No splitting up and no one leaves by
That was my mindset.
themselves.
Everything's a trap.
Yeah, that's true. This changes nothing for Anya. Should we send a message to maybe not Vengeance, but maybe Diamor, and just like, I don't know, like, hey, did you get any more knowledge information on your roundabout? Because crazy shit's happening over here, and we would really like to discuss your daddy issues.
How many words was that?
I mean, I feel like if Diamor, I feel like who's ever gonna have more intel is gonna be Gabe.
Well, they're
Yeah.
together, I thought, though.
But can
Are they
we
together?
trust Cape?
That's my biggest concern. Even if
Can
he's
we
like,
trust either one of them.
We know Cape has a fascination with Solara is also a problem there.
well, but that
I
could be
think
played
neither
to
one
our
of them are
advantage.
trustworthy.
True.
And I agree with that, but I almost agree with it in the way where, like, they could be in it for the right reasons. But I know nothing about demons, and to your point, there could be some sort of, like, magic tracking device on them, or something that's, like, in on everything. Like, I'm concerned.
Well, if he's tracking Vengeance, then he already tried to kill Solara. It's like the tracking didn't work at that point. So
Let's just send him a message. Worst thing that happens.
It's just in his brain. We're not
Yeah.
telling him where we are. It's just like asking for an update. We're just asking for.
Yeah. Let me. I would like to send message to.
If I may, there will be no sending of messages or receiving messages from demons in my church. If this is
We'll leave the
something
church.
that you need to do, then I trust your judgment, Solara, but please, it must be done outside of the church.
Sorry, we got
So
a little
valid,
overzealous. All right, let's just literally we step outside the church. All right, no. We could
it's wrong to
I mean,
do.
we could try to like head where can we go?
Back to our horses.
Oh my God, yeah. Where's the horses? Oh my God.
So
Where's
Where did
Cookie?
you leave? We
Oh,
left
I'd
them
be like,
in
Father.
the mausoleum.
the
I'll try to like if
horses-
there's any like apples or anything there, like, any extra food around the temple that I know of, I would just grab a couple apples or something for Cookie. Really quick. I don't know if there's a roll I can do.
Probably not in the temple itself, but I mean, there's, your hometown.
Maybe some rotten fruit stands.
I don't know about rotten fruit stands, but maybe some fruit stands. There is a couple of points of interest for Winds Peak is the, obviously, Temple of Kellamvor, Darrow Manor, which is like, big estate, the biggest, richest house in the town of Winds Peak. The local tavern called the Mountain Pass. And then, a few stands here and there that sell produce and stuff that gets imported from not the mountain, but further down the mountain into the grasslands of Linden.
Is there any like if it's quick and on the way, like is there any produce in the stands like left? I know there's no people around. I don't know. Can I look?
Yeah, you can check. So you guys leave the church?
Oh yeah, you guys okay? Hey guys, you guys okay if we?
Let's get out of here.
I mean, I know it's doubtful. We can, yeah.
Solara,
Find some food.
are you going to be
Oh, yes,
returning
Father.
to the temple before you depart? Or is this
I think
where we say goodbye?
I think this might be goodbye for a little bit.
I trust that you and your friends will make the best decisions, and the next time that I see you, Kellamvor is convincing me that you will be a Doom Guide by then. And so I wish that blessing upon you, and good luck in your travels. I suppose I have much cleaning up to do, and he kind of moves his door a bit as it's got two big blast holes through it from the Death Tyrant's rays of disintegration, along with a giant circle of ash and coal, flames that are just dying out from the fireball that Calliope casts. And he kind of sees your look, Clappy. He's like, it was necessary. I will fix this and continue to do further scrying and hopefully gather more information for you should our paths cross again soon. In the meantime, be safe. The spell that I taught you, Disguise Self, it may be coming in handy, as
Yes.
your race is no longer it's no longer okay to be a tiefling. Yes.
Do so anytime.
Did we freeze? I think we
I'm good.
froze.
I think we're unfroze now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It was me.
okay. He says, are you going to visit what's left of your family before you leave?
Like our family home.
Yes, Juliana, your brother Akron, your sister Arielia.
Oh, honestly, now it doesn't feel like. I just feel like there's just other things, and I wish them well, but I don't know. It's just I don't know them all that well, and I just so much about myself.
Don't feel bad about saying no. So
Yeah, no, it's a no for me this time. You know, I'm sure they're okay. They're good. Hopefully they're alive. Hopefully they got out of the town. You know, I hope they're well, and I'll see them one day. I believe in that.
Yes, well, you are a much bigger person than any of them are, for just simply wishing them good health. So, Callum will guide you in your travels, and I hope to see you soon. I will clean up here, and we'll have news, hopefully more news for you, and cannot wait to discover the doom guy that you become.
Thank
Goodbye for now, Solara.
Bye. Good luck with everything here, Father.
He looks around
Sorry
and
about the
he's like,
bunnies.
yes, well, I've never
Hopefully
had to...
some of the townsfolk come back.
I've never given 2 funerals for someone, but, well...
First time for everything.
I won't start now, actually.
Yeah. No need. Their souls are at rest, regardless.
Safe travels, all of you. And he closes the door, and
Farewell.
he closes the door, and it's very anticlimactic because you can still see him through the holes of the door, and it's kind of awkward. And he's like, "Yes, well." And he just turns around and walks away. Okay, you guys are back out into the snow. The snow has stopped. It's about 3 p.m. in the afternoon at this time. Like I said, Winds Peak is on the side of a mountain, so it can get pretty windy and pretty snowy pretty quick. But right now that it's pretty tame. That light snow that came by was just a dusting enough. And when I say dusting for a mountain, it's probably like 3 or 4 inches of snow. But it's kind of calm now. A bit of a gust of wind has picked up, but nothing clouding your vision with a blizzard or anything. And you're looking around at the destruction, the bloodied zombies laying in the snow. About 8 or 12 of them, or however many you killed. Yeah, and you realize none of them went after any other structure in Winds Peak. It was all... You can even see in their footprints, they all straight went from the tunnel that you guys came from to the Temple of Kellenvor. So you could deduce that all of the zombies were straight from the graveyard of Winds Peak and somehow were funneled through this tunnel that was created by the Purple Worm. All but the Death Tyrant. You're not really sure... Maybe the Death Tyrant followed the same path, but you've also never encountered a creature like that, or any sort of beholder. I think that was the first time you encountered a beholder, besides the nightmare that Calliope had of an actual big beholder that she had in the tunnel. But yeah, the rest of the town is kind of actually... All of the people are kind of coming out of their businesses and their houses to kind of see the destruction after they look like they've been hiding, and they see the 4 of you outside the temple, and you see one of them looks at you, Solara, and then kind of like whispers to the person beside them. And then that person looks back at them and is like, "Oh my gosh, like you're right, like that does look like her." And a couple other people are kind of gathering around.
I'm like, come on, you guys. Wait, is this still in my town?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, you guys at least know me a little bit. That's whatever. I promise, I'm no I mean no harm. As we're like, I'm like, let's just go, you guys. Let's just go.
The crowd is kind of like growing a little bit more. Maybe 16, 17 people kind of
Racist.
gathering. You're not really sure. You don't really have the vibe check. You're not really sure what their intentions
Okay.
are.
Are they pitchforky?
Yeah.
Roll insight.
Oh no.
They give him
I'm
pitchfork vibes. Valdrick's making eye contact with anyone close to her right now.
scared. Ooh. Wait, you said perception?
18 plus 3.
I got like
insight.
insight. I got a 29.
Okay.
I'm proficient on that.
Solara's insight's insane.
Yeah, you're
These are
trying
my
to
people.
you're trying to gauge these people. You sense a very familiar look between these people, and you quickly realize that they mean you no harm. As a 9 or 10-year-old humanoid comes out of nowhere and runs up to you, Solara, and gives you a big hug.
Okay.
And says,
Daddy.
"Solara, we missed you. Where have you been?"
Been very busy on all kinds of fun adventures.
What kind of
Scary
adventures?
You don't want to know.
Scary.
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 Giant man-eating worm monsters. Scary.
Yeah, you want to see that teeth? I start shaking Dars.
Teeth, please, Mom, can I? And the mom's like, "How did you get away from me, Delia?" And like runs up and like covers the eyes of the peripherals because there's zombies laying soaked everywhere, and is like running from the crowd and trying to catch up to their kid, who's obviously unfazed by any of this and just wants to see some monster teeth. And she kind of gives you like a contrite smile of Aldrich. And she gives you a nod, Solara. Welcome back, Solara.
Yes. As soon as I'm back, leaving again.
Thank you for saving us in your short time that you've been back.
Yes, I'm sorry we couldn't get here a little sooner.
It's quite alright, we survived. We've seen worse, haven't we? And they kind of all like nod, like, "Oh yeah, that one time that frost giant attacked us, we survived that." Kind of hear like mumbles, other things that happened. They've seen some beep. They've seen some beep up on this mountain.
A lot of beep happening up on that mountain.
Beep. Do we want to take a potty break before we continue?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a potty break, because I mean that's me saying I have to pee really bad. So
I gotta pee and think about all the things that we just talked about, inspired upon.
We just gave Chris all the ideas.
Chris
just
like,
wrote
whoa,
the
whoa,
story
whoa.
for-
You wrote everything, you guys. I don't have to do any more prep.
exactly. All right.
There's so much that went into that.
We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Lyle Banks.
Lyle Bangs. So we find ourselves back in the thick of Wind's Peak as the wind's picking up a little bit. Crowd is gathered around, and kind of just curious, obviously, as to what's going on. All the dead bodies around them. A little scared, but also a little relieved to see Solara. This is a tough town. They've been through a lot. Nothing frightens them too terribly. Excited to see Solara. A little 10-year-old girl has run up and given her a hug, and she continues on and says, she's kind of like, she has her hat kind of like wringing it behind her back, looking down at the ground. She said, "Mom said you were gone at orgy. That's where you were." And then Mom clasps a hand over her mouth really, really quick, and she says, "Jill, I did not know what. That's not a. She's
Wrong family member, mate.
right. Yes, wrong family member. It was the other. Yes. Sorry about that, Solara.
Keep that one going.
Easily understood.
We're going now.
Same last name. Yep.
And then she, and then she moves her hand for a split second. And the kid goes, "Pig orgies." We're going now. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving.
Valdrick's gonna heavy sigh and just... God, I love the power of music. Music and limerick, surely. Really gets far. The kid's going places. Maybe not great places. Places. Going somewhere.
The rest of the businesses begin unlocking their doors and taking the boards down, and some of them kind of inspecting curiously the bodies, some of them kind of kicking the zombified bodies and recognizing some of the faces, and they begin, as a town, kind of collecting and dragging the bodies into a pile, and someone starts a fire and starts burning the bodies, and some of them go into the Temple of Kalimvor and start helping out Father Zathir and kind of helping him clean up his mess. So where do you guys want to go?
Onto our horses and back on our path.
All right.
Up and up.
How do you want
We
to get
might
to
need
your...
to
inevitable
rest
doom.
before we head out.
That, yeah, but we should get to the horses first.
Horses first. Slow rest.
So how would you like to get to the horses? Back through the tunnel, then up through the tomb, or just kind of down the mountain straight to the graveyard? Because Solara knows about... She's like kind of putting two and two together. She grew up. She knows there's a graveyard. After Father Zathir would perform his funerals, they would do a procession down the mountain, down this path, and down to the graveyard.
Straight to the graveyard, right? Tombs are musty, crusty, and I don't want to have to go back through the wormhole. I know it's not there anymore. It's like the thought of it. It's slimy. It was there before. I don't like that.
All right, you guys make your way down this path. Solara guides you, kind of just winding down this mountain, maybe 3 miles until you finally reach the graveyard, and the snow is gone. About 2 miles down, the snow kind of transitions back to regular grassland as you're coming down off the mountain. And you reach your horses, who are kind of chilling. The Gimp is a little scared, a little skittish, but other than that, still tied up at the post where you guys left him.
Not our little Gimp.
You leave Bessie alone.
I'm gonna set up our tiny hut.
In the graveyard?
Yeah, why not? It's vibes, right? Everybody
I'm
okay with
gonna-
sleeping in the graveyard?
I'm gonna pet Cookie. Just be like, I missed you.
Kind of
Yes.
bucks a little bit.
Snack.
And, Bob's...
Solara being canonically a pony girl is amazing.
Reunited with Cookie.
Reunited.
Solara the Equestrian.
I always do a heart in the eye when I write Cookie.
Aww.
Yeah, Cookie's happy to see you. And it's about 5 p.m., not quite sundown yet. You can still hut up there if you want, but that's about the time of day that it is. You would have time to travel back.
We still need to send the message to...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're out of the church now.
How many letters can it be again? It's like 25. Or how many
Picked up
words?
Thing, right?
Huh?
We picked up Thing, right? Didn't we have to take him out?
Yeah, you say how many letters.
yeah.
You say how many
I'm
words
sure he
does it?
followed.
You say how many words does it have to be? And Tivit motions the numbers 2, 5 because somehow
Nice.
he knows,
Thank you, Tivit. You're incredible.
and he gives you a
Great,
little thumbs
okay.
up.
Let's try, Dear Dearmore. No, we'll just say Dearmore. We don't need dear. Dear seems too formal. I want it to sound very informal.
Yeah.
Dearmore.
Remember, limited words here.
Dearmore.
Tivit is, as you're saying the words out loud, Tivit has found a piece of chalk and parchment from your backpack and is writing the words down as you are saying them.
Good.
And then as you say, no, not too formal, he like scribbles them out and kind of like frustratingly puts his hand down on the parchment.
Yes, I agree.
And then kind of does this, like, what are you trying to say?
Right. Diamor have discovered much. Period. What have you found? Period. No, question mark. Also, who is your father? Question mark. Important that we know.
A Valdric.
XOXO Voldrick. Wait a...
And he kind of flips the paper, kind of shakes some of the extra charcoal dust off, and kind of hands it up to you.
Art. Fantastic.
And you kind of read it back to yourself.
Yeah. That looks great. If I read this, if I heard this in my head, I would know it's important. I think it gets our point across very quickly.
He says back, join me in D&D private.
Okay. Stay back.
Hello. He says back, my father is Diabris. He knows of, I forgot Mina's there. Okay, well, I guess she's hearing this.
She can't hear it.
Oh,
I've got
okay,
you on quiet.
Perfect. He knows of Cabris's connection to Solara, and that she is the source of Cabris's power. My father is hunting Solara down to regain control of Cabris. He's activating his suicide cells. Go straight to the location we agreed upon. My brother and I will meet you all there. And be careful what you say back. Keep it brief, and limit it to once a day. His demons may be listening. D. Which I didn't say in his voice, but he said that in his voice.
Oh my gosh.
I forgot.
Okay, repeat it one more time to me because I'm like writing it out.
Okay.
Hit me with it once more.
My father is Diabris. He knows of Cabris's connection to Solara and that she is the source of Cabris's power. My father is hunting Solara down to regain control of Cabris. He's activating his suicide cells. Go straight to the location we agreed upon. My brother and I will meet you all there. Be careful what you say back. Keep it brief and limit it to once a day. His demons may be listening. D.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Vault's gonna be like, oh, hang on. Wait, I'm getting something. Okay. Yeah, right. Father is... I'm gonna spell out his name because I don't want to say it out loud because I'm scared it has like a Voldemort kind of hex on it. His name is Diabris, which we already know. We knew this, okay? But
A.S.
A.S. Sorry.
Everything else is right, but R.A.S. Yes.
Solara is the source of Cabe's power. The reason he is hunting Solara is to regain control of Cabe, who apparently is off the rails. He's activating his suicide cells. That's what the big explosions are about. And Diamor said we should go straight to the agreed-upon location that we discussed when we were back in Phantasmo Hollow. Also, to be very careful about the sending spell, because they could be listening, just like we thought.
Words does he get in his sending spell?
He got a lot of words.
He did.
Got a lot of words.
He's a little more powerful than you.
He's a lot more powerful.
It said to go where?
The agreed-upon location, which I'm sure is in my notes.
That's what she says. Like, I don't remember the agreed upon location unless it was Northland. That's one
Wait,
of
so Solara is the source of Cabe cave
Which makes
power?
sense because all of the enemies she kills, the blood goes to his sails. We were wondering why they were connected that way.
Yes.
Wait, so he's trying to suicide?
No.
You have to live
The D
through
who
his.
must not be named
Daddy.
is trying
he's...
to use you to control Gabe.
Baddie Daddy.
Baddy Daddy.
There's Lord Father.
Mhm.
And he's
there's
just
Batty
getting
Daddy.
rid of his suicide cells? Like he just doesn't want them anymore?
I don't. Sorry, I'm looking. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Okay, so what's on, writing begins to etch
That's
into her
right,
flesh.
Tibbet was
Please help me
murdered.
find Deerbush. Literally, his name is carved into Solara's arm.
From
Because
Tibbet.
remember when Tibbet carved it into her arm. Please help me find Big Daddy D. Yeah, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, this is good. I'm getting closer. This is when we killed those Tieflings. Yep, absolutely. And then we found the infernal numbers on them. Okay, and then... Oh, yes! Northwind, duh. We're on our way there right now.
Northwind.
The agreed upon location was Northwind.
I guess we gotta hurry to Northwind.
Seems like an inevitable path is leading to Northwind, and the bad things all are also in Northwind. So, tell you.
This will be fun.
No good.
That was a lot of info.
One more bit of info that I'm going to remind you guys of, just because I know it's been a while, but you definitely would, your characters, it would be fresh in your brain, is that I can't remember who made the roll, I think it might have been Solara, but you learned about revenants, and that Tivit is a revenant, and that revenants always know the location of their killer.
Oh, Divot! I'm gonna put him down on the back of the parchment that he used. Can you tell us where the Big Daddy D is?
He just starts going.
Okay. Divot, wait! We're not going that way yet, Divot. We've got to take a little nap first. Okay, listen. Do you know of the exact location that he's in, or it's just in the general direction? Just a vibe. 2 for general direction. 1 for actually knowing where he is. You actually know where he is. Is he in Northwind? Yeah. Great. Okay. Not yet, Divot. We're in the dome, Divot. We're gonna take a nap.
So all the bad things are about to happen.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Let's take our nap now. Jesus.
So truly, he's trying to control Gabe with you by using Solara, and we're bringing Solara directly into the situation. It really,
Feels
Do I have any demon teeth?
I don't think so, unless you took one of Diamor's.
I
When
thought
you
about it.
punched him multiple times.
I thought about it.
Would have.
I take his father's.
I
Divot!
was about to say.
We've got to take a nap first, Divot.
Be good or she'll put you in the bag of holding.
They go, no, I would never. He becomes something terrifying in there.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Irish died.
Kyle said, I'm out.
I've literally. That's how I should do it.
Pew.
I was like,
Amber gains inspiration from Kyle's Irish.
yeah, that inspiration saved her life last game.
It's
session.
true. Alright. Let's take a little sleep, We know
Have
where
a
we're
sleep.
going.
Everything's in Northwind.
Everything's coming up Northwind.
Take care of it.
All
It'll be
right.
fine.
Is it nap time?
Nap time.
Or
Nap
sleep,
time
sleep
for the
time.
crew. Sleep time. Big sleep. We need
Okay.
big sleep.
All right.
Going into danger.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So you guys throw up the hut. You tie your horses back. Are you just outside the grave then? The graveyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Not
no
far
bodies here anymore.
True.
It's true. It is completely vacant. As you just kind of close yourself in with the gate and put a hut up and tie your horses down and feed them some of your rations. Go ahead and mark off 40 rations and an extra probably 10 for your horses. Keep them nice and fed. So you might need to restock soon. I'm not sure where you guys are at, but mark down 50 rations as you make camp for the night, make a little fire, and settle in for the night. So who is going to be keeping watch first?
Start.
All right, make a perception check for me.
13.
Okay. You settle in for the night as first watch, keeping a steady eye on things, looking around, just kind of gauging the landscape before you know that you're going to have to be traveling pretty far the next day, tomorrow, as the sun is setting in the west across the plains of Lindhelm. The east, of course, being the mountainous range, well, the north rather, that you just traveled back down from. Trying to think of the best course of action, whether you want to go back through Wind's Peak, straight through, or if you want to go around the mountain, which way would be quicker. North, as you're watching the sunset in the west, and you're like, okay, that's west, so north is that way. Just kind of using your compass instincts, and yeah, that takes about 2 hours of just plotting in your head, tracking, and your watch comes to an end.
I'll wake up Baldric next.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
It's good. $19.
Okay. It's about... Your shift is between 8 and 10 p.m.-ish. It's kind of getting dark. You're kind of scoot a little bit closer to the fire, as it's about 40-50 degrees at night here. Actually, probably lower than that, 30-40, being at the base of this mountain. The snow by this point on the top of the mountain is picked up again, and you see that you can see it snowing, not at your location, but up the mountain where you guys just were again. It's kind of watching things. You hear distant hoots of owls and screeches of some other unknown creature that you're not sure of. And by 10 p.m., you've played a couple ditties on your lute, and you wake up, or you finish your watch, and you wake the next person up.
I'll be next.
I'll go next. I think you usually go there.
gonna put my mouth like right up next to Solara's ear. Solara!
Okay.
Solara!
Yep. Okay.
Can I lay in your bedroll
I'm
and
awake.
take the warmth? It's fucking freezing out here. My bedroll's gonna be so cold. Let me take your bedroll until the shift switch. Let me take it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. God, it's so cold.
Okay. Can you at least also lay on lay on yours too, so I
Yeah.
can?
Yeah.
At least it'll
Yeah,
be warm
right
for when
here.
I'm.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cuddle up
Yeah.
with it.
Thank
Ah,
you.
this is good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Die.
Ugh,
What do
excuse
I
me.
roll?
You're gonna roll perception for me, since you are actively keeping a watch.
It'll be a perception. 19.
Okay.
Kind of low.
Looking for.
It's kind of low with the 19.
I rolled a 9.
I forget you have insane perception.
So tired, but so aware, kind of.
All right. Okay. It is. Your shift is around midnight. You kind of. You're paying attention the whole time, but your mind is on autopilot. You're thinking about all the events of the day. You saw half your family again after however long it's been, and they were in an undead state. So you're not really sure of what to make of it. It's kind of, you're just kind of numb to it right now. You're thinking about Zathier and hoping that he's okay. Kind of just glancing up at
Just reflecting.
Yeah, as in reflecting the whole time while you're looking up at your hometown that sits atop this mountain that you just climbed down. And yeah, it's just all kind of hitting you before you kind of hear this like and Cookie kind of starts stomping his paws and kind of backs away and is pulling at his reins that are tied.
Okay, immediately, can I just do my little, like, can I sense any undead within 60 feet?
Yeah, so you do a sense,
My little...
yeah, you sense, Tivit, who is, curled up in a ball, a fisted ball, kind of under Valdrick's chin for warmth. That's the only undead.
Okay. Let's make sure it's a zombie.
Yeah, it's the only undead within 60 feet. And then, as you're kind of sensing, you're closing your eyes, you hear again,
Where does it sound like it's coming from?
wherever you keep the Tome of the Stilled Tongues.
Okay, I was kind of wondering. No, we haven't really talked
he
to
missed
him.
us. We haven't talked to him in a while. He misses us.
Not the still
I'm gonna...
He went so long.
Okay,
the tongues.
I'm gonna... Okay, I'll get it out. I'm gonna wake up Anya.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I was so hoping you would. Yes.
Of course. Okay.
Not you.
I'm gonna...
sleep.
But I'm not gonna.
Lonnie
Yeah,
and
I'm not
Baldrick
waking up.
sleep.
Yeah, no, I'm literally not waking up Baldrick or Calliope. I'll just be like, yeah,
How
like
did it
as
go?
low key as I can. Be like, the book is calling me. The book is calling me.
I'm just instantly awake. The book.
It's a late night booty call.
She sits up. Okay.
Vecna's booty
By
calling
the
me.
flame. I cast light on a rock so we can see well. Okay.
Oh my gosh. It's like two girls at a slumber party.
Kicking our legs. Anyways, okay, yeah, then I pull out the book, open it, and I'm like, I'm here. We're here, yes.
As you open it, it's as if it's as if someone who's been swimming for maybe 8 or 9 minutes underwater finally reaches the surface and can breathe again. The horses are now going ape nuts. Now all kind of pulling at their reins.
Like,
Still intact, but still definitely freaking out, and kind of tripping over each other.
I had a picture earlier, but the new picture definitely needs to be the two Sneakertons listening to the Book of Still Tongues in the middle of the night.
Yeah, like under like a blanket, and it's just like you hear
just a rock, a glowing rock.
If you're looking at it from afar, all you see is like the two shadowed heads with the glowing in the blanket, and you hear
and then the whispers of Solara.
Yeah.
Solara and Anya were definitely the girls at the slumber party that tried to convince everyone to do the Bloody Mary in the mirror, and light as a feather, stiff as a board, and
so
play
fun,
with
guys.
the Ouija board. But like, it's fine. It's fine.
Can I like roll like some kind of animal handling to like at Cookie? Just to like calm her down, just like it's okay. You know, just like I'm doing this, but I'm also just like
farther.
Yeah, maybe we should move farther away.
Yeah, do animal handling at disadvantage, because in one hand is a very evil book, in the other hand is a horse. So
it's a horse.
Okay. All right, lowest roll. That's my. I don't think my animal handling. Oh, 8 plus 6. So like 14. I don't know. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, 14. It's a 14. It's not great. Not great for the circumstances.
Yeah, but could be worse. She kind of, is it a she, Cookie?
Yeah, Cookie's a girl. Yeah.
Bucks a bit and kind of stomps and is kind of patting the ground and shakes her head, and then that's kind of when you say maybe we should move away, and is still in control, but definitely not liking the vibes. So you guys kind of scoot a little bit farther away as you're staring down at the book again, and you hear a voice speak back to you, and it says, "Welcome back. I missed you."
Oh, Vecna, you're getting so soft in your old age.
A bit of dust comes out of the book as if it's been stuck in lungs for thousands of years.
Sorry about that. Is there something you're particularly needing? I know you don't tend to reach out to us. We have been a little busy though, so sorry if you were lonely.
I am not the one in need. Always it is you who needs me. You need me, Solara. Anya, you need me.
I'd be less cryptic.
I'm getting Tom Riddle diary vibes right now. I'm sorry.
Never trust something that you can't see where it keeps its brain.
What exactly do we need from you? What can you offer?
So haunting.
What can you offer us? How do we know it doesn't just lead to our deaths?
That is the risk you took when you took this book. That was like a Dr. Seuss rhyme.
Yeah, to be fair, I didn't know what the book was when I took it, so. But fair.
Knowledge, power. These are the things you seek.
might be feeling yourself a little bit there. I don't know that that's accurate. In which case, you might need to get your own room for that.
You feel a prick on your pointer finger. The same. You immediately get the exact same feeling that you got when you touched the bronze obelisk. And in the book, all of a sudden, in blood, an obelisk is starting to be drawn. And as the drawing continues, the more blood you lose, you can just kind of feel being drained from the prick in your finger. And the landscape around on this page in the Book of the Tome, or the Tome of the Stilled Tongues, the landscape around starts forming around this obelisk, and the obelisk gets shaded now in red. The landscape around also red, and it looks like veins of lava, and lava flows, and a volcano actively erupting in the background. And you see what just looks like a red obelisk in a volcanic landscape.
Is that the vision I had? Like when I was taken? Was that the vision?
When you were taken?
When my mind went to talk to
Vorasega.
Yeah.
You had a vision of a frozen river, an icy river in an Arctic landscape.
A river or something. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So does this look like the place just like lava? Or is
No,
it completely different?
it looks completely different.
And the obelisk looks completely different?
The obelisk looks exactly the same, other than the fact that it's red and blood and not bronze.
Alright, well I'm gonna say, first of all, don't I send you enough blood that you can paint with instead of having to use my blood? Secondly, is this the future? Is this my destiny? What is this?
This is the future. This is the past. This is the present. This is all things. This is the origin.
Okay, so we're still choosing to be cryptic. Great, that is helpful.
I don't like your tone. And the book shuts.
Yeah, per usual. We really didn't get anywhere with him. But maybe we're asking
Or
the
if he was
wrong
gonna
things, I
tell
don't
you
know.
stuff.
Honestly, I'm kind of scared of him, so.
I just, I'd rather not know. If you're not gonna be bothered to explain it, I'd rather just not know.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah, I feel like you should be used to this by now, honestly.
This book is better, I guess, in our hands than someone else's, though.
It's true.
Alright.
Right, guess you can go back to sleep.
Anya goes back to sleep and collects the rest of her 4 hours as Solara's shift comes to an end. Calliope is awoken by Solara. It's the last shift of the night.
Okay. Your turn, Calliope. Going to sleep now.
Alright, Calliope wakes up. I can't hear if she is, but
I'm awake, sorry. I was talking like I wasn't muted.
okay. You were sleep talking.
Yeah.
So Calliope awakens. The hour is extremely late, probably 3 or 4 a.m. And you're finishing the shift. You're letting them get an extra little bit of sleep since you took an early, long rest. You guys are kind of taking longer shifts until sunrise, and you're sitting there thinking about the events of the day as well, regaining your strength after casting such a powerful spell that is the fireball. All this talk of Northwind has got you having mixed feelings. You're kind of anxious, you're nervous, you're kind of confused. You're trying to search your feelings about Northwind, and you don't really know what to make of this whole journey. Yeah, mostly just feelings of kind of curiosity, and like you're trying to remember something. It's like when you woke up from a dream and you're trying to remember what you dreamt because it was so vivid, but then you just like forgot it and you just lost it. You're kind of having that moment about thinking about Northwind. And during your watch, did you roll a perception check for me?
No, I did not. 14.
All right, 14. Yeah, you're able to keep an eye on things as you're having these thoughts, and nothing out of the ordinary pops up. You put another couple logs back on the fire, and it seems to they're kind of damp, so you do a little cantrip of fire to keep it going, and that's about it. You guys awaken very early in the morning, as soon as the sun is rising, probably 6 or 7 a.m., and your horsies are still asleep. They seem to be restless all night.
I wonder why.
What?
Is it because we're sleeping in a graveyard? Are you
Yeah,
very
that's
scared of the
definitely-
graveyard?
That's definitely it.
It
Yeah.
just
I'm
sounds
gonna
so
sleep in
spooky.
a graveyard again. It's okay. You guys are alright. Poor babies. Poor baby ponies. Alright. Off to Northwind. Off to our certain death. I tell you, I had wild dreams last night.
No. About what, Baldric?
Oh, you know, the usual. Demons coming to blow us up. Demons coming to blow up Northwind. The Emperor turning out to be a demon king from hell who's bringing an undead army to the earth. It just... I think there was a lot of... Sometimes when too much spooky things enter my brain, my imagination goes crazy. But I feel like that less imagination, more plausible things that could occur now. Shall we?
Tivit, very peppy, jumps up on your shoulder and is like very excited to start the day,
I'm really excited too, Tivit.
and is pointing.
Let's go.
Wait, is that also is that what the place wherever you and Diamore, the secret meetup spot? Okay.
It's all in Northwind. Everything's coming up Northwind. Let's go,
Excellent.
babies.
All right, everyone make a animal handling check for me for the day,
God.
and also a survival check. Anya, Anya, go ahead and roll survival with advantage as you were contemplating your path the night before.
Okay, survival is a 17,
Okay.
and animal handling, I can speak,
Mm-hmm.
is a 24.
Okay.
I got a 16 for my animal handling.
I got 17 for animal handling.
I got 14.
Okay. Yeah, you guys all mount your horses, and Cookie's giving you some issues trying to get the
She's quite
saddle on
tired.
her.
You know?
Yeah, for the morning. She's still a little like skitsy of what happened last night, and you know, the book now being in her saddle or wherever you're keeping that pack, it's got her a little restless, and she ends up bucking you off the initial mount, but you get back going, and you guys continue on. 17 was rolls for survival, so you start off. You in front of you have kind of like you were mapping out the night before, Anya. You have the mountainous range of Wind's Peak, straight to your north. There's a winding path that goes up that you guys traverse down straight to the graveyard. To your east is the direction that you guys came from, the very hilly landscape of the plains of Lindhelm. To your west continues the plains. Bless you, Charlotte. And yeah, there's the mountainous range kind of to the northwest, kind of dies down a bit. So which path do you guys want to go?
Hang on. I'm looking at the map, but there's nothing really. I guess which one's the more direct one?
Yeah, what's path of least resistance?
Would I know?
You know that the Azure Sea is directly north of you, and that is where Salt Marsh is and everything. Jagmeister, I think, is on the other side of that. It's like a gulf that comes in, and so the most direct path would be to go around it. It's not even much of a diversion. It's just kind of you'll probably go along the coastline of the Azure Sea.
Okay.
Is your most direct path. So you're gonna kind of aim You're going to aim your party at the bottom left part of that gulf of the Azure Sea.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, you guys set off. You kind of travel along the base of the mountains, looking at Wind's Peak in the distance as you pass it, and you're trotting along. What's the marching order?
Huge. Anya, Valdrick, Solara Calliope, or is it Calliope Solara?
Yeah, we can't
Calliope
have
Can't have
Calliope
Calliope at the
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though she is a little
Less
less
squishy.
glass, but still.
She almost died
Yeah.
yesterday, so we can't.
Yeah, that was a disintegration ray, not from my health.
You tell them, darling. Now,
But still,
get your
she
ass
almost
behind
died.
me.
I'm disagreeing. I should be in the middle. However, I do more damage, and I'm less killable now.
All right, the first couple miles, 10, 20, 30 miles, you guys are trotting along, making good progress. Yeah, there's not many events going on. Is there anything you guys discuss or strategize as you're trotting along?
Do we know where we're meeting them once we get to Northwind?
They did just kind of say Northwind, but when we get there, we can maybe send another message. Maybe. I
I
don't
was
know.
about to say, is that safe?
No,
Did they say to
maybe
be
not.
careful with that?
We'll figure that out when we get there.
Okay.
Let's talk more about this crazy theory that we have. Valdrick's for sure just gonna be behind Anya, spinning yarn about the theories that she's coming up with.
Fair enough.
We're connecting threads. We're tying them together. We're putting them in places that
Connected
they don't
two
even
things.
belong sometimes.
You haven't connected shit. All I can think of are the TikToks right now.
All right, you're traveling along, and what's everyone's passive perception?
Is that my passive
16.
wisdom?
Yes.
17.
Minus 18.
16.
Okay, you guys are pretty high. You you're trotting along. You're making small talk here and there, a little banter. And you hear in the distance, Dum. What's this? Dum. You kind of just hear like this muffled.
The fuck is that?
Giant?
Not
I
really
don't
wanting
have
to
giant
find
teeth
out.
either. Do we want to make a detour or are we staying on path?
The environment around you, you're kind of coming up. You're kind of finishing your route off the Winds Peak mountain range and kind of back into the plains of Lindhelm. You're kind of coming up on a crater, definitely a natural crater, and you hear this going on in the crater itself. So you can either go around the crater or go up to the top and see what's going on down there, but it's definitely making enough noise to kind of echo up.
Here's take a little peeky.
Oh, look.
Just a
Sure.
little sneak peek. Yeah.
Alright, everyone roll stealth.
Mhm. Uh, 12.
13.
18.
15.
18.
You can say me think you rolled a 1 for a second.
I roll at disadvantage now.
Why?
I have a piece of heavy armor and also I'm covered in jars full of teeth.
Oh. You're talking to the person who's in her pajamas, basically.
Very stuffy and somehow rolled the lowest.
Look,
I also rolled.
I'm blaming it on Bessie.
Anya and I just like blink, plunk, jingle, 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 leading the pack.
I'm like a cat with a bell. I'm giving you a warning before I kill you.
That's true. Should I take out the warhorn?
Now let's see what it is first.
Give me the rolls again.
I got an 18.
13.
13.
And Valdrick was what?
15.
Okay. As you guys are kind of trotting up to the base of this crater, the top of this crater, Anya and Calliope, you're trying to strain your necks. Your horses are kind of like turning around, and you're trying to like get them to turn back around as they're just not cooperating. You guys kind of bump into each other, and the clanging of your armor makes a kind of a clang noise as you're all peeking over the crater, and you see two frost giants throwing a boulder back and forth with each other. And as they're kind of like giggling and laughing as they hear the clang, or as the clang is kind of audible, the one giant in the distance that's facing you guys catches the boulder. Oi! Drops the boulder. Oi, you! Oi! And grabs for an axe on his back. And starts running towards you. The other giant turns around, pulls his axe out as well. And that's where we'll end for tonight, I guess.
They're running at us. We're dropping AoEs, baby.
Fireball, they're frost giants. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fairly cold for where you guys are at, and I mean it's not like covered in snow though, so it's a little they look a little out of place, being frost giants, but who knows?
Very interesting.
What a
Wow.
episode full of intrigue. How intriguing. Valdrick just going, oh yeah, I know. I get this. I know what's going on.
XOXO Baldric.
XOXO. Always make sure I've got room for XOXO. Gotta know.
D.
Gotta make sure everybody knows.
All
Hugs,
he sent
kisses.
back was D.
That's par for the course. You know, he didn't say D more. He said D, and that's enough.
Mm.
That's enough.
Mm-mm-mm.
XOXO. Valdrick. I love. I sign all my emails that way too. Actually, in real life. XOXO. Bo.
Excellent.
That was silly. Well then, can't wait to fight them next week.
You know, if there's one thing we should do on our way to Northwind, it's get as much XP as we can, because I feel like this is gonna. We are in for a big bad thing.
I know, hopefully.
Not the wenches XP farming on their way.
Always, the wenches are always XP farming.
Hey,
If you had
you're gonna
rats, we'd be
offer
killing
it.
them.
Look,
Yeah.
You're
they
gonna
power
offer it.
level me like there was no tomorrow.
Mm.
Did I
Yeah.
die in the process? Yes, but I got better. It's fine.
Did I almost die again? Yes. Also yes.
Okay,
Also, yeah.
Pass
that
the
Ray
lemon,
was
baby.
rude.
Oh, that's funny. What's everyone's XP to next level, by the way? Quick little stat update.
think
I
we
am
need, like
9,000 away. I'm at
6,000.
39,000.
5,000 something more, something like
I
that.
forget. What's level 10? No, we are level 10.
We're level
11.
10. 11 is 85,000.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys have a ways to go. Well, cool.
Time to go murder people in Northwind then.
Guess so.
Look, that sounds like there's a lot
Gonna
of
kill
sketchy
people.
politicians there. I think it'd be fine. I think we could make money off of it.
Yeah, we really should be charging people.
We
We
did
should.
get 2,800 in gold. Did we spend all that already?
I think we immediately
yeah,
spent that on
we
horses and
really-
loot.
Bought all those
Right.
health potions.
Yeah.
Boxes.
The mystery box is unbelievable. I don't even remember what I
We're
gave you guys.
so
out of those.
easy.
I don't even remember what I got yet. I'd have to go look.
Didn't
No,
get
you
the
got the
sexy cloak?
attraction cloak. The
Yeah.
love
Along
cloak.
with you?
Oh,
The
yeah.
sexy cloak.
brother. She's gonna pull that out some episode. I'm gonna be like,
I am. I'm gonna like be like, let's put
Would
this
you
on
rather we
Anya.
didn't
Hey, you
use
know what?
them?
If Capers like you, maybe it runs in the family.
Yeah, maybe you can get Dad to like fawn over you too. Maybe you can control this entire
True.
situation.
Maybe there's a
I
respect
thought
for
first
the
that it was
family.
gonna be like he's actually my brother. Like we pull
I
Star
thought that.
Wars.
I was like, are we
I'm
looking Leia?
actually your lover's brother, your lover's sister.
Yeah, I was like,
Which by
Surprise.
proxy, if you guys get married, that's where I was.
we would be
Like,
sisters.
we could be going, but who knows? We might
fact-
even.
Yeah,
He might pull a fast one on us. He's just like, yeah, keep going.
the way we ran through so many threads that eventually Valdrick just went, am I a demon? Are you a demon?
Are we all
demons?
Are we all demons? There's a lot going on
Is this
here.
a
There's
simulation?
one thread. There's one thread that's
There's
just
one
going,
thread.
everyone's a demon.
That just ends at the top and everyone's a demon. I can make that connection. That's pretty
Mhm.
good.
I've connected
It's
two
just the
things.
corner
we have
of
a
the bulletin
connected
board.
shit.
Way over here, there's a little post-it note from Anya
All
that
the way
says
out left field.
absolutely not.
Everyone's a demon?
Anya just with a question mark post-it
All
note
I
over
can see
top
is
of it.
Valdrick in front of like a murder board with a bunch of registering that
Mhm.
all
Haven't
lead
slept
to
in
one
3
little point.
days.
And it's-
It's like we're all
It's like a
demons.
little emoji with the demon emoji with the little horns, and it's just they're all leading.
Horns
It's
and a
just
little
a
bell, I'm like,
just
with little
question mark.
post-it notes around it.
we're getting somewhere.
Yep.
I can
All of my knives end
feel
up
it.
missing because she's just like stabbed photos of people with all of my knives. And I'm just
Mhm.
like, but,
Yeah, lots of knives stabbed in there. Some
all of the
edges.
photos are hand drawn by me. They're not very
Yep.
good.
There's little burns on there.
Valdrick's like,
Accidentally caused little explosions.
okay, I'm a celestial. Am I a demon? Okay.
How did
My-
I get from
Whoa.
point A
To be fair,
point F?
Valdrick, there's thoughts behind that.
My boyfriend
You know,
He
is
was
a
like,
demon.
my
You said the
mom's
night
part
hag thing, and I
night
was like,
hag.
okay, what if
Maybe I'm
also Anya's a demon? Listen, there was a night hag deal that was made. I'm just saying, maybe she's a
My
demon
mother
too.
is my mother is half night hag. Am I a
Calliope?
demon?
How did she come back, demon? Like, just
Honestly, I'm still expecting something
mean,
to come back from that whole debacle. And it's to just
Exactly.
rear its ugly head again.
Really, where are we
died?
at with the Saz father? Where are we really?
oh god,
Look,
Yeah, we
Valdrick's
paid our
having
debts. We
deep
paid our
feelings, yeah, about
we've
the
avoided
Saz father.
contacting the Saz father recently.
I'm kind of ghosting him a little bit. He made me feel very uncomfortable. I
Feel
did.
like I should
I
have
really
a lot
did not
I mean-
give my consent to pregnancy.
Pregnancy is very uncomfortable. I wouldn't know, but I would assume.
He made me very uncomfortable by what he did there. I'm very grateful, mind you. Obviously, you're alive. That's fantastic. A little fucked up, though, right? Pretty fucked up.
Very fucked up.
Valdrick's been
I don't
processing
like that I
word.
felt everything Valdrick felt during that moment.
Yeah.
Surprise, you're back to
wild-
life,
Sure.
but you're also becoming undead, and you're feeling all of the pregnancy pains and weird demon baby.
Mhm.
And now it's labor.
And now it's labor. Nox was dead.
And then I'm dead again.
Not ideal.
Oh.
Not ideal.
I will
Nox.
say, your first couple months of pregnancy, Valdrick, I had no idea why. I had no rhyme or reason.
Well, you know, I bet the Saz father really didn't either. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's
Yeah, he
a crazy,
didn't.
chaotic
He
beast of a
didn't.
dude. He's just in it for the shits and giggles. That's all he's there
Shits and
for.
giggles, man.
He said
And
the
he-
quote, you'll give life to death itself, and I was like, I'll eventually write something that makes that mean something. But right now, I don't know. Sounds cool.
It sounds cool. That's how I've written all my books too, actually.
Good.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds cool.
Yep.
Love,
Well,
Kyle.
I'm
You
leaving.
did.
Love
Yeah.
y'all.
Disappearing.
Bye.
Yep.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Amber, we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Look at her saying goodbye.
Not
She can't
just